I'm Amy. So we have come here. We've created this channel to share our stories and on like dating and dating apps and life and lessons and all the things. So you can follow us also on
Instagram, seriously sir 2 TOO. We also have a TikTok, seriously.sir. That's seriously and then a period sir. And then we also would love to hear your stories that we can share on here and discuss them. So our email is seriousslysir2 TOO, seriouslySir2 @gmail.com. Please feel free to comment throughout. We would love to interact with y'all and hear your thoughts on the things we're discussing.
Also, I'd like to mention, if you do get involved, it is a judge-free zone for us, for you, and we want to hear it all.
Yes. Yeah.
So what's going on?
So I guess I'll update y'all on Hottie With A Body. I'm still only seeing him. We have no title or anything. It's still like casual, seeing where it goes. But I just haven't really talked to anyone else that I'd be interested in talking to. So update is, I guess it was like 2 weeks ago, we were supposed to go on his motorcycle, but it was raining, so we didn't get to. So we ended up going to play pool instead. It had like a break in the rain, so we went and played pool. And while we were there, it started like pouring, just pouring down. And so we ended up having to play more games than we were like intending to.
Shucks.
Yeah.
I love pool.
And at one point he said to me, he was like, I'm glad I like spending time with you. And I was like, what's that supposed to mean? And he was like, well, he's like, it would suck to be stuck in here for this long if I didn't actually like being with you. There. And so I was like, well, what would you do if like you were with someone you didn't like and like you were? And he was like, I don't know. I guess I tried to turn it into a business thing in the house. He has 3 things he does for work, and one of them is like real estate. And I was like, are you kidding? He was like, no. Why would I be kidding? Like, if I don't like being with you and I'm stuck here, like I may as well try to get you to buy something. And I was like, okay.
In the mind of a businessman.
Yeah. And then while we were like hanging out, one of my really good friends is getting married next month. So keep in mind, this was 2 weeks ago, you guys. And this is important because it came up last night again too. And so I was like, hey, my good friend is getting married next month. I just found out I could bring a +1. Like, do you want to go? And he was like, well, I'm out of town the weekend of the 17th. When is it? And I was like, it is the 10th. And he was like, yeah. He's like, let me put it in my calendar right now. And I was like, okay. I was like, the ceremony is like a couple hours before the reception. So if you want to go to both, that's fine. If you just want to go to the reception, like that's fine too. I was like, do you want me to send you the times? And he was like, no, it's like in the calendar. Like, I'm yours. Like, we're good. And I was like, okay. And then, yeah, so then it finally got a break in the rain. We played 3 games. I beat him. He like kicked my ass in the first game, and then
You're like, nope.
And then I beat him the second 2 games. And he had 1 beer, I had 2 glasses of wine, so like we weren't drunk, like nothing, which I actually really appreciate. A lot of our dates, like we've had 2 completely sober dates, and we've had 2 where there was drinking, but it wasn't like no one was drunk. Everyone was very cognizant of like what was going on, which has been very refreshing for me. And it's just like relaxed. There was a lot of like joking and stuff. Like I think he's finally getting comfortable enough where like he's like, okay, I can make fun of her a little bit, and she's just gonna laugh. Like she's not gonna get mad at it. So the one thing leading up to this, as Amy knows, but y'all don't know, he is like a horrible texter. And I don't know if it's like he just gets distracted or like what, but he'll like get the text and then sometimes like not respond.
Sounds like someone I know.
Hi. So I'm guilty of that too. Yeah. And so like in the beginning, I was like, okay, does he not like me? Like what's going on? And so there was one night, like before this date, where I had sent him a cute picture after yoga, like whatever, like not sexual or anything. It was just like a picture, like I just finished at the studio, like feeling great, like hope you had a good day. Never responded. Like the whole next day went by, didn't respond. So by the next night, I texted him and I'm like, okay, you either didn't like my cute flirty pic or you just like forgot about me. And he sent this text back and he was like, shit, I'm so sorry, with like 3 of these emojis. And he was like, I literally meant to respond to this all day and I kept getting distracted. And so there's been a couple times where like that type of thing has happened.
It's the worst when it happens with a picture.
I know, like at least heart the picture. Like you don't have to say any words, but like acknowledge the picture that I took for you.
Yeah, I can handle when they're not responding right away, but when you're sending out a picture, it's somewhat vulnerable.
Yeah, like you want like some reaction,
something.
So, yeah. So it's funny after the last time that happened. So then I didn't see him for 2 weeks until last night because that next week, he had his best friend coming to town. Okay. So the next Wednesday night, I guess it was, because his friend was coming in. I wasn't sure if his friend was coming Thursday or Friday. So I guess this was last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So last week, I texted him and I was like, I know your friend's coming in town, like date night in tonight or tomorrow, so we can see each other before we can't, because it's new. Like it's one thing meeting like close friends. It's a different someone meeting like your best friend. So like wasn't sure if I was going to be invited to anything, and also okay if I wasn't because of that. Okay. Like no big deal. And so he texted me back and he was like, he comes tomorrow. I'm really tied up with stuff tonight. And he was like, why don't you text me after your call? I have a meeting I do every Wednesday nights. And he was like, I'll see where I'm at with everything and we'll think like maybe. And so I was like, okay. So I like texted him when I was done and I was like, hey, I'm done. Like, let's do something. And he was like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired and I just can't drive out there. Like I'm like trying to finish a contract that I have to get out tonight and I don't know how much time I'm gonna have to do it once he gets here. So like I have stuff to get done. So I was like, okay. I was like, no problem. Like, do you want me to drive to you? I was like, if you're too tired to drive over here, I don't mind driving to you. But also if tonight doesn't work, like that's also totally fine. Like it's a last minute thing. I know you have company in coming town, no big deal. And he's like, I really still have to finish this and I have to get up early to like finish some other stuff. And then I have a meeting at 8:30 in the morning. Like, I think tonight's just not going to work. And I was like, okay, like no problem. And then we got on a whole other conversation, right? Like moved on, whatever, back and forth for like 40 minutes in text messages. And I finally was like, okay, well, I'm getting in bed. Like, talk to you tomorrow. Like, I hope you get good sleep tonight. And he doesn't respond. I wake up the next morning. Jen has texted me and she's like, I saw last night. Okay. And so I was like, so I don't respond, like whatever. And then I talked to her later that night on my way home from work. I like went to work. I was like a little perplexed, but I was like, whatever, right? Like, we'll see what happens. And I get on the phone with her and she was like, yeah, she's like, I was walking Patrice home, which is another one of our friends, after dinner, and we saw him walking up to this certain bar that we all like. And so I was like, well, what time was that at? And she's like, I don't know, like 10:30 maybe. And I was like, oh. And she's like, I was like, what did you talk about? And she was like, oh, I was like, hey. And he was like, hi. And she was like, Cori said you're going to the festival, like I'm going too. And he was like, oh yeah, like let's exchange numbers, like maybe we can meet up. She's like, oh yeah, cool. She's like, what are you doing out tonight? And he was like, I wasn't planning on going out, but it's a friend's birthday, and so I'm here. I had to show face. And so she's like, oh, okay. Mind you, like, she doesn't know that him and I have had this conversation already before. So she's like oblivious, right? Like, no idea, whatever. She's telling me the story, and I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, why do you sound so weird? What's wrong? And so I tell her, like, the conversation him and I had, like, an hour prior to the conversation she is now having with him. And she's like, maybe it was like a FOMO moment. And I was like, maybe. I was like, I mean, he hasn't lied to me before, but at the same time, like, maybe he just didn't know how to tell me no. I was like, but that also doesn't make sense because anytime he's been like, oh, I already have plans, I'm like, okay, no problem. Like, we'll pick a different night, like, whatever. But then, like, so y'all don't know this, but like, that's partly why we were late because this happened the same night as last week's podcast. So when Ryan came to like do the interview or whatever, or the week before when Ryan came to the interview or whatever, I was like fuming when I got home, right? Like I just had this conversation, like, so yeah, I was like, I don't know what's going on, like whatever. And I'm going back and forth, like whether to text him about it, but I also know like text can be interpreted not great.
You know what, too? It could be like, as you've mentioned, it's new and all of that, and you had already said goodnight. I'm just thinking, like, sometimes, and not saying that you're a lot, but when someone's tired to like get together, whether here or there, even just to chill with a new person, you need a lot more energy than him just picking up and being like, hey, I'm going to go show face for my friend.
For sure.
There's that too.
For sure.
It's a thought.
Yeah. So what I like decided was I was going to like table it, and I was going to talk to him about it, but I wanted to do it in person so that it could be like a calm conversation, right? And so I didn't see him all week. Obviously, his friend was in town. And also, I'm just curious, like, for anyone that's watching, like, what would you have done if you were like in my situation? Like, would you have texted him? Would you have not brought it up at all? Like, what would you have done? Would you have made assumptions and been like, F this dude, like never talking to him again? Like, I want to know what y'all would have done. So, yeah. So, I don't see him all week. I will say he was like, not that we talked a ton, but he definitely was like very mindful about like texting me back. There were 2 nights where like he very intentionally like went back and forth with me, like whatever. So we ended up seeing each other last night. So it's the first night in like 2 weeks because of the company in town and whatever. And he tells me like all about the festival and like his friend being in town and all of that. And then he and I'm not going to go into this on here, but I had a incident last night before I got there that like shook me up a little bit. And so when I got there, I got out of the car and he was like, immediately, it was like, you're not okay. Like, what's going on? So I like told him what happened, and he was like, okay. He's like, let's go do something fun. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. So we went to this little like neighborhood bar and just played pool. I think we were there for 35, 40 minutes. Like we weren't there long, but he just like wanted me to have a little bit to like get my nervous system back down from what happened. Like, yeah. And so while we were like playing pool and stuff, I was like, hey, I am a little confused about something. And I specifically chose the word confused because I didn't want to make assumptions. He hasn't lied to me at all yet. So I said to him, I said, I thought about texting it, but text can be interpreted not great. And I didn't want something that was not like a big thing to become a big thing unnecessarily.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, but I also want to make sure I'm able to be like very present and like clear with you tonight. And so I just need some clarity. And he was like, yeah, what's up? And so I like told him what happened. You're going to laugh. So I told him what happened, right? Not the whole story, but I was like, well, the night that we were talking about our date night in, and like you were too tired, Jen said she ran into you late that night. I said, and so I was just a little confused about that. And he was like, I was going to stay in. I was really tired. He's like, one of my friends texted me. I was like, it's my birthday. Me and so are here. No one's coming out. Like, I'm really sad. Da 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 da. He was like, so he's like, reluctantly, I got dressed. He's like, I told him I was exhausted, but I'd come for one drink. He's like, so that's what I did. He's like, I got dressed. I went for one drink. I was home an hour later. He was like, but if I'm being honest, he was like, I know I met Jen. He was like, but the night that I met her was the night, like we were all out drinking and it was the night your car got towed. And he's like, I knew her, but I didn't know who the fuck it was. He's like, but I acted like I knew who the fuck it was.
Oh boy.
I was like, okay. I was like, this is really funny. I was like, because I assumed you knew who it was based on how she was talking. And so I thought that like, I was like, I don't know what I thought, but in my head, I'm like, he has to know that she told me she saw him. Like, no idea, because he didn't even know who she was. And he's like, please don't tell her I didn't know who she was. I was like, okay. So, long story short, like, it was nothing and it was fine. And I said to him, I was like, thank you for talking to me tonight. And he was like, well, I'd rather that.
Communicate.
Yeah. And I was like, I just didn't like want to be upset. I was like, there was no reason to get upset or angry about something that I didn't even really know what it was. Right. Like, yeah, I said, and so when something like that comes up, like instead of making assumptions and making myself upset with the person when there potentially is no reason to be upset with the person, I just like to talk to them.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I like really appreciate that. And he like smiled and like gave me a kiss and like whatever. So yeah, so it's all good. We had like a fun night, played pool, hung out, like had a great date. And
communicated like
adults. So yeah, it was great.
I love that. I'm glad that worked out.
And then he told me last night, he's like, I'm not a good planner, clearly. We never actually have like planned dates, I have to tell you. Like we'll pick a day, but we have no idea what we're doing. And so I told him, I'm like, as long as we have like a day, I don't really care what we do.
That's how I roll.
Yeah. I just want a day on the calendar. So like I know I'm gonna see you, but like I don't care if we plan it in a moment, like whatever. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, the only thing I really plan is like business meetings or like trips. And I was like, well, you put the wedding in your calendar. And he's like, well, that's a day outing. It's a trip. And I was like, okay.
Gotcha. Starting to plan. Well, to save the date.
Yeah, so that's my story. So still seeing Hottie With A Body. I did bring up New Year's. He said he's funny. He said he usually Ubers on New Year's. So he had this like really bad accident 4 years ago, and he couldn't go out because of the medical stuff. Like he couldn't get bumped or anything like that. And so he Uber drove that night. And I guess he made like $3,000 or some shit like that.
Ubers.
Like, yeah, just only on New Year's Eve. Only on New Year's Eve. That's it. And he said, he's like, because I made so much money, I was like, I'm going to do this every year. He's like, so I've done it the past couple years. He's like, so I'm probably going to be Ubering. And I was like, okay. I was like, that's fine. Like, Uber away, friend. I was like, but at midnight, find me. And he was like, maybe. And I was like, okay.
Uber your way on over to me, love. That's interesting.
Yeah, and then I asked him if he wanted to come over here. I don't have any plans for Christmas Day, and I know he doesn't either. He said he's probably going to work. And so I said, well, do you want to come over in the evening and I'll just make dinner and we can watch a movie and hang? He was like, no, I don't like Christmas. I'm Scrooge. And I was like, well, it doesn't have to be Christmassy. Like, we don't have to do Christmas. We can just literally eat and like watch a non-Christmas movie. And he's like, no, I don't do Christmas at all. Like, I don't do anything on Christmas. I don't like Christmas. I don't see anyone on Christmas. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, I'm not gonna like push that. I don't really know. I didn't want to pry. That conversation was this morning, and he had to get to his physical therapy, and I had to get to my appointment to view that place. So I didn't want to pry. My guess has to do with like the family stuff that like you and I talked about. Would be my guess.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah. So I don't know when I'm seeing him next. He doesn't plan. Oh, we have a comment. Who commented?
Let's see it.
We're learning this still, you guys. So yeah. Oh, here. Hi, Kelly and Nick.
Oh, hi. That's my sister.
I don't know how to make the noise go away. There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I don't know when I'm seeing him next. Probably, I mean, I'd guess this weekend, maybe. Something. Who knows? I just like go with the flow. What I do, this is really funny, but what I usually do is like probably tomorrow or Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll text him and I'll be like, I want to go on a date this week. This is when I'm free. And then he picks a night.
Hey, it works. It's working for you. Continue.
That's how last night came about. I had texted him on Monday and I was like, I want to go on a date this week. This is the nights I'm free. And he was like, okay.
It worked this long, so keep her going.
Yeah. I mean, I you know me, I don't really, I have my 3-month rule. So like, I don't talk about anything serious or seeing other people until after the 3 months has happened. So I don't really know where his head's at right now. But I do feel like based on the fact that like he does, aside from the week his friend was here, understandably, he does try to like make time to see me every week, very consciously. And then he also planned to go to that wedding with me like 5 weeks out, where I'm like, I don't know, I'm like, okay, like I could definitely see it like turning into something over time, but we're still like very far from that. We're still getting to know each other. So
weddings are fun too with a date. Another vibe. See him with your friends.
Oh, for sure. Get dressed up. Like, yeah, for sure. The other thing we discussed last night, which was very interesting, I was like, oh, okay, this is another way we're compatible, which was kind of cool to see. Is he was telling me that so every Sunday his guy friends and him do football. I learned that very early. So like, if we hang out on a Sunday, it is when the football game is done. Like, and that's fine. Like, fine.
That's 95% of dudes.
Yeah. And so he was telling me when we were like driving to the little neighborhood bar, that one of the guys didn't come last night. And I was like, oh, why not? And he was like, well, he texted me and he was like, hey, the girl I'm seeing came over yesterday and she's still here. And I guess this girl and this guy have been like on and off for a while. And I was like, well, I don't understand like why he can't come. And he was like, well, I guess he doesn't want to bring her to the guys thing. And I was like, okay, but I was like, well, yeah, like that's your guys thing. Why would she come? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, well, I would not like that. I was like, I'm somebody that like, I want you to have like your things I want to have my things. And then we like create this thing together that incorporates all those people and
all the things.
right? Like, but like I think it's healthy to have your guys' night and to have your girls' night or to have your hobbies like separate, as well as have like time together with all like those types of things as well. And he was like, yeah, I feel the same way. He was like, and honestly, he was like, I don't think it's her. He's like, I think it's him not knowing how to like set boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, but I don't understand. Like, if she came over last night, why last night he didn't say, like, hey, just FYI, tomorrow, like, the guys and I are meeting for football at this time, so I'm going to have to leave. Like, you know what I mean? And he was like, yeah. He's like, I mean, I feel the same way, but he's like, you're a needy. He was like, but I just don't think he does that. He was like, and I don't think it's her. He's like, I've met her. She's actually like pretty chill. So yeah, that was interesting too. And he's like, but I agree. He's like, I'm busy. Like, I don't want to have to give up my things that I love just because I'm in a relationship. And I was like, no, I
don't
feel
want that in a person.
Right. Honestly. I was like, I feel the same way. I said, actually, my last ex, like long-term ex who was 2 years ago, I said at first, like every Thursday and Friday, like him and his guys on Thursdays, they would like go have a drink and like hang. And then Fridays, they would go get scars together. Like sometimes I would see him after, sometimes I wouldn't. Like it wasn't a big deal. Like I would either like go to the yoga studio or hang out with my girls those nights. So like it was great, right? I was like, and as time went on, he like stopped doing that and he just wanted to be with me like all the time. Yeah. And I said to him like multiple times, I was like, hey, like, where are your friends? Like, where's your guys' night? Like go, like,
what happened?
Go be with them. Yeah. I was like, and so I was like, it was one of those, like, I loved that he wanted to be with me. But because of that, I found myself having to like not go to yoga certain nights or not go see my friends on the nights that I normally saw my friends because he was like at my house all the time and he had the code and stuff to get in because we had been together a while at that point. And I said, I definitely learned through that relationship that like, I don't want that. Like, I want someone that like, yeah, is going to make time for me and like we see each other and spend time together.
Yeah, you want them to want to see you,
but like they still keep their things that make them them.
Right.
Like when you give up those things, that's when you like lose yourself in a relationship. And like I don't want to be with somebody that's gonna like give up all those things and is only solely focused on me to where like they're not really like that person anymore, right?
They're not that person anymore, and then you have to fight harder to be your person because if you don't want to change and you still want to do all the things, now you have to make an effort to go do them.
Right.
Because they've got even if they're not saying it and they're around all the time, they still have this little pull like you should be there or you feel bad or you don't just have your set nights to be like, all right, so I'm going to go do this. You have to put more effort into keeping yourself.
Yeah.
And we don't need that.
Yeah. And so what I really like so far about like Hottie With A Body and my dynamic is it's like we are both really busy, right?
Independent.
Like, he has his 3 like small businesses. He also is involved in like this men's charity group that does a lot of charity work for a bunch of nonprofits. So like they have all these events and stuff he's at. He does like this dinner social with them every Tuesday where like all the men meet for dinner and they have like a meeting about all the events coming up, like whatever. And then I have my stuff, like I do yoga, I have this podcast, like I hang with my friends. I also have a full-time job, like, and we're very understanding if like one of us is like, these are the only nights I have. And it might be one night. It may be like, if you want to see me, like this is when I can see you. Mm-hmm. And it's like, and we've both made an effort to like make that work with both of our schedules without either one making the other feel guilty for like having other things going on. And I think that that's healthy and that's how it should be.
It should be because I used to love to just be with the person that I was into all the time. But I've grown and I've changed and I've learned. And then now if I attract a person, it's happened recently who stopped doing all the things and was just there all the time. And I am continuing down this path of the journey that I'm on in this point in my life. And I'm like, I can't have that. I can't. And I would communicate it. And he'd say one thing, but then it still was like just sucking something out of me. I'm like, I don't have this capacity right now. And it was taking away. And as much as he cared for me, I felt like it was taking away from what I was trying to do. So that understanding and independence is extremely important, I think, especially for the beginning to like solidify a base of a good relationship.
And I think it gives you the space to continue to grow as your own individual self.
That's what I'm saying.
In that relationship and also grow in that. And that space to have your own things and then come together also gives you time to miss each other.
Exactly. And then also too, you want that support from a partner. You know, like what do they say? Like when you're growing, you want someone watering you. And you do the same. And if you're both at your best, you're going to be like individually, you'd be best for each other. And that's something I've learned, and I've learned it kind of late. So that's extremely healthy, and I love hearing that.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, so it's going well so far. Still casual. Won't be bringing up any serious talks for a while still, because it's only been like 6 weeks. If you haven't watched our 3-month rule, you should watch that. Then you'll understand why, from my perspective. So yeah, that's where we're at right now.
That's
still having fun.
I like that.
Yeah, still enjoying each other. Still open to other opportunities, but not necessarily looking for them.
There's not a whole lot of opportunities out there. Trust me. Be open to them. Absolutely. That's extremely healthy, but I don't think you're missing much, to be honest.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my update for the week.
Love it. You want to play a game?
Oh, we have a game?
We have a game.
What's the game?
Put my eyeballs on. This is a good one.
If y'all want to play with us, as she's like saying them, drop your comments, because we love that.
How do I heart her? Just with this heart?
Yes. I don't know.
And I think I might have. I think I hearted us. But that's what's easier. Okay. Let me find it here. All right. So how this works.
Okay.
I'm going to read one of these dating behaviors. And you're going to answer red flag.
Okay.
Quirk.
Okay.
Or depends. Not you.
You can play too.
And then you have to explain too. So we're gonna mark it, and then you're gonna tell me why.
Okay.
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 So this first one, this dating behavior. How do you feel about someone who still follows their ex on Instagram?
I think it depends. I feel like, so what I found is if somebody, Jen and I actually just had this conversation because of the guy she went on a date with. But I feel like if someone is healed from that past relationship, they can openly and freely talk about it without getting like emotional, right? Like they feel indifferent about it at that point. If someone is not, they're either not going to want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Or they're going to still feel like very emotional and like heated or upset or whatever when they do. So I feel like if someone is in like that state and they're trying to date you, they shouldn't be following them, right? Because then it still is
active
and festering and all that, right? But if they're at the point where they're like indifferent and it was just like, you know what, like we dated 8 years, not a bad human, but just not my human, and like this is what happened, and like they, like for me, like we don't follow each other anymore, but my long 8-year ex and I, like for a while we did follow each other, and we do still see each other. Like we were together 8 years and we didn't want friends to have to pick between us. So like there are times when like someone's having a birthday party and we end up at the same function because whatever. And so I would not say we're friends. Like we don't talk outside of those functions.
Mm-hmm.
But when we see each other at those functions, like we're both at the point where like we are friendly. We can have a full conversation about like, how are you? How's life? How's this? How's that? Good, good, good. And then like go do our thing at the party, right? And so I feel like if you're at that point and like you're following each other, it's kind of like, okay, whatever. But like, yeah, if you're like not healed yet and you're like lingering that in your face, like in your own face and trying to date, that's just not a healthy dynamic.
Yeah, and I agree. You would tell by their energy for sure. But I also think that if it's positive energy and they are healed and still not in contact per se, but following them, it shows a lot about your character and how you can have a breakup or a split or whatever happened and still remain civil and friendly, and you're not carrying anger, because some people, even if it doesn't end bad, will still hang on and carry something.
Yeah.
And we don't want that, because I have a couple people that I've dated. I don't follow them per se, but I'm connected to them through social media, and haven't seen them again, like wouldn't really hang out with them outside of bumping into them, but it's nice when you do. Like one of mine, we had the same circle too, and I ended up meeting his girlfriend, and she's lovely. I follow her, so there's nothing, no angst, no anger, no nothing, and it makes me feel happy. She posts more than he does, and I love seeing them thrive. I love seeing them happy. So yeah, I'm 100% on depends as well.
So I think it depends on the situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, if it's done properly, it shows their character. And I think that's lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. How do you feel about someone ordering for you on a first date? This is bringing me to one of your stories. So I'm laughing.
Moneybags did that, remember?
You did?
Yeah.
What did he order you? I don't remember.
We were at sushi and he ordered 3 rolls and 2 of even that he was like, what don't you eat? And I was like, I don't eat shrimp, lobster, cream cheese. And he's like, okay. And he's like, everything else is game. And I was like, yeah, I just don't do dairy, shrimp, or lobster. And he's like, okay. Just because that's usually what's on a sushi menu that I can't eat. And he was like, okay, great. And he ordered 3 rolls. 2 of them fucking had shrimp in it.
He was hungry. He wanted those rolls to himself.
No, because then he was like, why aren't you? He's like, are you gonna eat these? And I was like, yeah. And I like picked one up, and I just like, it was fried shrimp, so it was like whole enough where I could just like pull the shrimp out. And he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't eat shrimp. And he was, I'm like, I literally told you that when you asked me what I'd eat. Like, and he's like, that's annoying. And he's like, no, let's order another roll. I'm like, no, it's fine. I'll just pull the shrimp out. It's not like it's embedded into stuff. Like, it's a thick piece. Like, I do that all the time with people. And he's like, no, you're not doing that. And I was like, I am actually doing that. So I had all these little pieces of shrimp on my plate. And he's like, I can't. And I was like, eat my shrimp. But yeah, Moneybags did that. I think it depends on the situation. Like, if I'm with someone that like really knows me and we've dated a while, sure, order for me. You know what I'm gonna like. Whatever. But first date and like you don't even really know my dietary like restrictions because of allergies and stuff, like probably not smart.
Your reason's so different than mine. First date, don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. I was thinking CC and 3. I was gonna say, let me specify, not before you even show up.
Oh yeah, he ordered the stupid calamari. Forgot about him. That was such a bad date. I think blinked it out of my mind.
They like to order for you. That one though, that one was too much.
Ugh. And he ate half of it.
If you didn't see that one, yeah, he ate half of it and left her cold calamari.
Because he got there 30 minutes before the time we agreed on and then ordered.
I say plenty of time to eat a burger so you're not hungry before you get there and then act like nothing ever happened. Fill your belly, sir, before you order me food.
And then he barely ordered me food.
She legit came home and made dinner for herself.
I did make dinner for myself.
That was terrible.
Well, I was talking to Amy, fuming because I was so hangry.
I was crying, laughing. at all this. It's too funny. Okay. So people like to do that for you. They don't do that for me.
Other people
I don't really go out on real dates. Let's be real. All right. Doesn't text back for 24 hours.
Okay.
Red flag, quirk, or depends.
Quirk.
Quirk. Okay.
I guess it depends on the person. Like, if someone's just not into you and they're, or like, I don't know. Because Hottie With A Body does that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because I've learned he, like, literally gets distracted. It's not because, like, he's not intentionally not texting me back.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're learning that. So, you would say quirk.
And I do that too, so I can't really.
Throw stones. You can't throw
I
stones.
can't, because I'm very guilty of, like, I read a text and I get distracted and then, like, the notification's gone and, like, that person does not get text back.
It's that little swipe thing, girl.
I forget.
Which way to choke?
Okay, but, like, when you get distracted, like, that ain't, like, you're already distracted, Amy.
Oh, I am, like, squirreliest of all squirrels, and I know myself that if I read it and I'm not typing right away, I just go poop. And so it's still there.
My friends and I, if we, like, text each other and, like, we're all bad texters, right? Like, all of us. So, like, if we text each other and, like, we're waiting for one of the people in the group text to respond, or all of them sometimes, and no one's responded and we, like, need an answer, we do what you do on social media. We just type the word bump, and then we know that, like, that needs a response. If you see bump, like, fucking respond to me, bitch. I need an answer.
So I have a thing too. Like, do you have anyone pinned in your phone? Like,
Yeah.
okay, so you can't do that in those, Kelly. So if ever she's watching, if ever you don't get a response from me, I can't do the swipey thing to remind me. Then we need to come up with a thing like that.
We say bump, because then it bumps the message back to the top.
Okay.
And so when it bumps it to the top and we see the word bump, it's like a trigger of, like, oh, okay, like, whatever they sent, like, they need an answer to it.
Okay, are you listening to that, Kelly? She and I have a bunch of different things that we do. Like, one being because I talk to so many people, especially like doing hair, and like I don't remember who I told what, and so I'll tell her something like 5 times, and she listens, and I'm like, don't do that. If ever I start talking, you've already heard it. Just go, just shush me, and then I'll say, oh, you've heard this before.
I think I usually say to you, like, oh, you told me this.
Yeah, just.
You're like, oh, okay.
I do. It's the problem that I have. There's shush, and then another thing I taught her to do with her boyfriend, actually, because she would talk to him, and then later he would say he only heard half of it because he was distracted, and she's like, well, why don't you just tell me that you can't listen right now, and I'll message you. I'll finish telling you later. And then so I just told Nick, I said, look at her and just go, pause. So we have pause and now bump. Got it? But yeah, it's a nice, like, quiet little way. Just
I'm
not
listening to you.
If you don't want to shush, this works with me.
I usually, if that's happening to me, I usually look at the person and I'm like, I want to hear what you're saying, but I need to finish this because I can't focus on
exactly.
both.
Yeah.
Give me like 2 minutes to finish
people
this so I can, like, actually be attentive to you.
I love that. All right. How do you feel? Red flag, quirk, or depends? Someone who lives with a roommate at 38 years old.
I feel mixed about that. I guess it depends, right? Because, like, everyone's different.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess for me, I wouldn't want to necessarily date or be in a relationship with someone that has a roommate. But that's also because, like, I just like space. That's a me thing. Like, I also could not have a roommate at this point in my life because I like my space.
Mm-hmm.
But not everyone has that personality. And so someone that is single but maybe doesn't like to be alone, maybe for their mental health, like, does better with a roommate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it just like depends on circumstances and the actual person's personality. I just, because I know I like my space and I know I like to be alone, I wouldn't want to date someone that had a roommate because I wouldn't want to be going to their house and then have to be nice to someone else too.
Oh my, that's such a Cori answer.
This is such a Cori answer.
It's hard enough to be nice to the people you have to. Let's be real.
Like if I'm going to see the person I'm dating, I don't have to see the person I'm dating and someone else. Like I just want to be with that person. So like that wouldn't work for me.
Oh
but
God.
to each their own.
Oh my God. So Cori, that's great. Oh my God. Well, I'm 50 with a roommate and I love it.
That's what I said. We're not different personalities. I could never. I couldn't.
So we have our things too in the apartment because she used to stay with me before she moved in on my couch for weeks at a time. And I feel like I could be a lot. So like was walking every morning. She would be on the couch. She has nowhere to go. I'm putting my sneakers on. I'm like, "Ba, ba, 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 ba," I'm talking away.
I'd kill you. I would fucking kill you, Amy.
Like, all right, gonna go. She's still on the couch, blinds closed. Sometimes I'd open them for you. I'm like, look out there, wake up. So I would say to her, like, I feel terrible that like you have nowhere to retreat to and you're so kind, you will never tell me to shut up. And I can read the room, but she's that kind. She's just, smiling. So I used to put a hat in a drawer. So I said, if ever like you really can't do this and you can't verbally tell me to not talk, just put the hat on. If the hat's on, I'll literally leave you alone.
Actually, I'm like, this is funny. I'm not a morning person. Like, I try really hard, but I'm just not a good morning person. I get up an hour and a half before I have to be at work to make sure I'm like,
I'm not a morning person either.
Up because I am not good at that. And I know that about myself. And so in my early 20s, when I started dating the guy of my 8-year relationship that I had, it was like the first or second time he stayed at my house, and I had a roommate at the time. My college roommate and I lived together for a very long time after college too. And he like woke up and went in the kitchen, and he was like, she worked from home, so she's like we had set up a little like office area like off the kitchen table for her, so she's like sitting there working. I was like in the bathroom getting ready, and I could hear them talking, right? He's in the kitchen singing, and he was a good singer. Like he actually sang in a band on the side as like a thing. And she looked at him and was like, I wouldn't do that. And he was like, what? And she was like, she is angry and grumpy in the morning. Like the house has to be quiet. Like I would not do that if I were you. And he was like, he kind of laughed and he kept singing. And I walked out and I was like, shut the fuck up. And he was like, he just like looked at me. And I was like, if you are going to stay here, you have to be quiet in the morning. Like you can't do that for an hour. And she looked at him, or she looked at me, and she looked at him, and she's like, I told you not to do that.
She's types away. Warned you, bud. I'm not really a morning person either, but I feel like if I was around a morning person, doesn't help. His chipperness
It angers me. I get like angry inside. Like, how are you so up and happy and you're like, too much? Like, stop.
I mean, you did tell me that when that you were that way, and that's why like when you come into work, we don't talk for a little while. I don't bother. I say hi. Hi. When you're ready.
Which is funny. I get up an hour and a half before I like leave for work. Otherwise, I'm like 10 times worse than that.
I think I'm getting better.
I'm trying.
Or do you think I'm getting better? When I was younger, like in high school, if you tried to wake me, I would swing. Like I would swing. I did not want to Mm-mm. Once I'm up, though, that's the difference, I think, with myself. I have a hard time waking up and getting up.
Same.
But once I'm up, I'm very happy to be awake. So
I'm
think,
not happy to be awake, but like it takes me a long time to actually wake up once I'm up. So when someone's like that much and I'm not even like fully awake yet, I'm like a walking zombie basically. So I'm just like, okay, this is like overwhelming and I need this to stop.
okay, noted. Noted. Yeah. Heard that, Kelly. Okay, lastly, red flag, quirk, or depends. And someone says they're just not into labels.
Oh, red flag.
Agreed.
Like I get in the beginning, like there shouldn't be a label. You don't know that person, but like if at some point you're not going to be willing to like call me your actual girlfriend or wife or wherever we're at that stage, like I have an issue with that.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's basically saying like you have commitment issues without saying you have commitment issues.
Yeah, commitment issues, emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
If that's something that comes up right off the rip,
Yeah.
no.
Right.
I mean, if someone's willing to go down that path and let it label itself, which is what should happen
Right.
over time and sharing energy and all that stuff. But yeah, I agree.
But like if you're just not into them and you're never going to want to like call me something.
Oh, they're gonna call you something.
Well, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, if you're just like, I'm not into labels, like I don't do boyfriend, girlfriend, I don't do da-da-da, like ever. Like, yeah, like to me, like you clearly were burned at some point and you are not over that trauma and you should like work through that and probably shouldn't be dating anyway.
Yeah, unless you find another train wreck. Good luck.
Who also doesn't like labels.
Right.
Yes.
That'd be perfect.
Yes.
That's not gonna happen with
Yeah.
me.
I feel like when people say that, like there's something else deeper going on.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I know I meet these people and they say things like that or something off. And I'm like, what happened to you? Like, I genuinely want to know the story. Like,
Right.
what happened to you? Something
Yeah.
happened to you.
Yeah.
Very interesting. There's a lot of them. A lot of people. And 9 times out of 10, when I do ask someone, they were scorned at some point.
Oh, for
and
sure.
They'll tell me, and they
For
obviously
sure.
haven't healed or worked through that. So hanging on to that one that hurt them or the one that got away or whatever happened. That's usually the case. All right, that's all I got for you.
Yeah?
That was a good one.
That was a good game.
I liked
that game. Yeah. Let us know your answers. Drop your answers in the comments. I'm just curious what other people think.
Super curious because we kind of agreed on all of them.
Yeah, and everyone's different. So I'm like curious if other people think like differently than how we thought.
I thought we were going to think differently.
I thought so too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know.
That is all we have for y'all. We hope y'all have a great Christmas.
I can't believe it's Christmas.
I'm not sure what we're doing the following week for New Year's, so we'll pop on and let y'all know once we figure out. But it's probably going to be different too because I think that falls on Thursday as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll probably do a different day next week once we figure out the day. We'll let y'all know. But yeah, have a great Christmas, and we will see y'all one day next week.
And if you want to follow us on the other platforms, we've got a couple more.
Instagram is Seriously Sir 2, TOO. And then our TikTok is seriously.sir. So that's seriously and then a period sir. And then again, if you want to send in some of your stories that we can read on here and discuss as some episodes, that would be super fun for us.
I would like that.
Yeah.
I'd like to get y'all involved and hear everyone's stories.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too.
We could talk all day, but
we know we're not the only ones with crazy dating stories. So like, please send them our way. So our email for that is seriouslysir2, TOO, seriouslysir2@gmail.com.
And also, if you could spread the word, I mean, we're growing at this point, thank you all for subscribing and helping us go live, because
Yeah.
this has been kind of fun.
Yeah.
Huge for me. Let me just tell you that. She pushed me. So I figured if we earned it, we should do it. And I'm just putting it all out there. But yeah, as we grow and you're talking about it, or can share it on your Facebook or whatever, just spread the word and have them subscribe.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking to you soon.
Yeah, help us grow our YouTube, y'all. We would really appreciate that. We hope you have a great week.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
Hanukkah.
Bye.